Good evening, race fans. Welcome to race number 2 of the Elite Racing Experience here at good old-fashioned. Well, I'm having a quick little brain. But my name is Carlos Costa, and joining me is Jess Story at Indianapolis Raceway Park. It took me a second. I had to go through all the different name changes for me to get to where I was. I don't know why. For some reason, I thought I was somewhere else. Jess, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing great, Carlos. How are you?
I'm doing all right. Already starting the night off strong here. We had a fantastic race number 1, which I'll just quickly go ahead and put up the point standing. That's the wrong point standing. Here we go, point standings here, where Ethan Stanley took home the victory, Tyler Fody in second, Jared Rexing in third, and you can see the point standings here. You know, it's 1 week, so we don't have everybody showing up with too many different changes, Jess. But looking at the top 10 right now, what's something that kind of sticks out right away?
Well, I see Ethan Stanley continuing his momentum from the last week, too. He's been showing great speed in practice here, and I really expect for him to be fighting for the win along with him and Fody.
Yep, well said. We are currently in qualifying right now, and then going to transition to heat 1, and then heat number 2. That's going to set the starting lineup for the final main event of 100 laps. So I still haven't yet to drive this car yet at the track, but it's going to be a similar story, Jess, where drivers complaining about overall grip. It's going to be very tight. It's going to be hard to finagle, and I think you said it best. Track position is going to be very key tonight.
Oh yeah, definitely. Track position is going to be king tonight. With how this track is, obviously, with the top line being the dominant line, you don't want to stray away from there. Otherwise, you can get yourself in big trouble and lose a lot of positions with how tight these cars are.
Let's see if we can get something going here in terms of you guys can see where qualifying is currently heading at. Let's see, overall, we have about 50 seconds remaining in qualifying before we transition over to the first heat. And like last week, unfortunately, we can't get a traditional SRX format in iRacing, but we're going to be separating both halves on drivers based on where they qualified, evens in, odd drivers in heat 1, even drivers in heat number 2. That'll set the lineups based on the road that they're going to be on. So should have similar fun that we had last week. Remember, half 1 started a bit chaotic, had a lot of quick cautions in the beginning before we smoothed out and finished out strong. Heat number 2 was the opposite, where we had a very clean first half of the run before it transitioned into a little cautions here and there in the end of the half. But I don't know if we're going to have something similar or not, but time will tell, as qualifying has come to an end. And I wait a couple seconds to let the drivers kind of get themselves in the positions that they do need to get to. And unfortunately, I think we're still going to experience the same issue. Yep, okay, so we're not going to be using that ticker. You can still have the sponsors going on, scrolling through the screen. But let's go ahead and get the starting lineup here for tonight's half number 1 and for the Elite Racing Experience here. Ethan Stanley is going to be starting off on pole position with Tyler Fody second. Jared Rexing will be starting this half in third. Ryan Gabel will be starting fourth. Jesse Reisemus in fifth. Hunter Smith sixth. Gerald Campbell seventh. Eighth will be Ryan Schuld, and ninth will be Ethan Resner. So, Jess, of these 9 drivers you're seeing here, who do you think has a chance to improve on their position, or who do you think is going to stand out to you the most?
Definitely want to keep an eye out on Gerald Campbell. It looks like he might have some good speed based off of what he did in practice, and I feel like he's going to make up a few positions here and there. But I don't think anybody's going to have much for Ethan Stanley. Maybe Tyler Fody up front, but it's definitely going to be a dogfight between those two to see who wins Heat 1.
Well, while iRacing still has an issue, at least with SDK, with the heats, we're going to be using a backup ticker for this in the meantime. Learned our lessons. But pace car should be pulling out here any second now. And, well, Jess, I don't think you've had a chance to drive these cars, but what's your experience here at Indianapolis Raceway Park?
Like I mentioned before, it's definitely going to be a top-dominant line. I think with the cars being tighter, I feel like it's going to exacerbate that issue even more. And based off of what I hear from the drivers, tire wear is not going to be very significant. So I feel like it's definitely going to be a track position game.
Okay. Well said. Well, we have 25 laps to determine this first heat. Now, that's not going to be enough for tire wear to play a main effect. We did see it play a bit of a factor last week. This week is going to be, I think it's going to play a factor, but time is going to tell.
Yeah, it's just going to depend on how well you can manage those tires and how well you can manage that right front, because after 10 or 15 laps, that right front's going to be killed, and you're going to find yourself in a lot of trouble based off of that tire wear.
Trying to see if we have any in-car cameras here for this first half. I don't think we do. I think it's going to be similar to last week, where both in-car camera drivers were that we had were in the second half. Looks like we only have one in-car camera, and it's going to be our in-race reporter too. So we'll keep that as a prize for half number 2. But pace car's getting ready to pull off. We're going to have ourselves 25 fun laps here at Indianapolis Raceway Park. Pace car is off. The drivers are itching. They're getting ready to cross start-finish line. And Ethan Stanley leads them off, crossing the start-finish line, going down into turns 1 and 2. What a fantastic start of the race. For Ethan, immediately goes up high. That may be costly as Tyler Fode's going, 3 wide, and they go around.
Hey, there he goes.
Caution will, in fact, come out as Jared Rexing going 3 wide there. I don't think he tried to do it on purpose, but they just made contact exiting off of 2.
Yeah, that was just a bad racing deal. Looked like from my point of view, definitely just 3 wide. It didn't work out coming off of 2.
By the way, I do want to apologize to you, Jess. I didn't realize I wasn't sharing my screen anymore. There you go, fam.
Thank you.
All right, let's get a different camera angle here. So I'm not quite sure why Stanley went all the way up high. I guess maybe trying to protect that outside line, but I mean, he did get a good run exiting the corner. Just didn't work out for Jared Rexing.
Yeah, definitely. I think he was just trying to drift up there to try to protect his position. He definitely had a good start, and surprisingly, he went for the bottom on that initial start. So, but yeah, just like I said, 3 wide coming off of 2. Somebody was going to be on the wrong end of that.
Here we go on board with Jared Rexing, seeing what happened from his point of view. He thought it was all clear. And then he probably didn't expect Tyler Fode to kind of move down. He thought he was going to stay behind Ethan Stanley. All right, well, similar to last week, half number 1 has a very early caution. As we have Brent Jones in the YouTube chat saying SRX. We are all excited for this first season of, well, he said SRX, but we're in here, it's called ERX. But we are driving the SRX cars. Hopefully the series can come back, because that was some fun racing. I was a Navit fan watching whenever I could.
Yeah, and it looks like they've already got them lined up, ready to go here for the restart. And as you can see, the pace car is pulled off.
Second restart, first restart of the night coming up here. Just any second now. Are we going to see Ethan Stanley immediately go up high, or is he going to try to do something a little bit different to keep everybody in their toes? Green flag's out, and an even better restart of the race for Ethan, as he does the same thing, although to a lesser extent. It makes me think that maybe he overshot how high up he went and wasn't planning to go that high. But smoother restart for everybody, as Jared Rexing finds himself in the throughway position yet again. This time being on the outside line, and it's going to work out for him better than it did in lap number 1.
Yeah, definitely. It looked like Ethan Stanley was able to get a little bit of a better restart right there and able to clear himself up without having to worry about Fode trying to cut back underneath him. So definitely got away with that one. Jesse Racima's had a little bit of an issue there in the middle of the corner, but keeps it going. We are still green.
I'll try to see if I can pull up a replay of what happened, as we do have a couple more battles going on in the middle of the pack. We see Hunter Smith and Ryan Gavel battling for that third place position. That's going to be Ryan Gavel on the outside with Hunter Smith on the inside. Now, for those of you tuning in last week, you saw we had a colorful ticker for all the drivers that it's going to come back for the main event. It's just unfortunately while SDK glitches out on heat racing where drivers are separated, it's not going to be feasible for us to do that in the heat ones. So hopefully these guys can make these races go by quick, and then we can get to the main event where we have the beautiful Christmas colored tickers back in display.
Yeah, while that battle's going on, Fody's still right on the back bumper of Ethan Stanley for the lead. This might get a little bit dicey right here. We'll see what happens here.
Yep, no problem there for Ethan Stanley as he continues to still maintain a healthy, but not out of the clear gap between himself and Tyler Fody. And let me see if this thing might still be working. It sure is. Because take a look at the last 5 laps for your top 3 position drivers, as Stanley and Fody are just no competition for anybody else, or nobody else has any competition for these 2 drivers, I should say, as Fody disappeared for a split second as Stanley smacked the outside wall, gave it a little kiss there. But yeah, Gavel, who was battling for a position there, is by himself at this point, was having to deal with a loose car, and it still is, and that's going to cost him some spot. Yeah.
Oh, and he's in the wall. They are all over each other back here. Rexing trying to go underneath Campbell for position. It's a wad back here for 3rd place.
This is what we had to kind of keep an eye on for. In last week, in the main event, where a lot of the drivers didn't save their stuff at the end, and I have a feeling we may have the same thing, but to a harsher extent. I think saving the tires may be a little more important at this track.
Yeah, this track definitely eats up tires like crazy, no matter what car you drive. But especially with these cars, while yes, tire wear, from what I heard, is not as significant, it still could be a big issue with how hard these guys are driving and how hard they're pushing, especially on that right front tire. As you can see, Rexing's looking underneath Gerald Campbell for position right there, but Campbell's going to be able to hold on to that.
Ooh, little bump there.
We keep it together. We're still good.
I have noticed that these cars they're pretty good for bumping. You're not really going to fully spin somebody out, I guess, with the low speeds and the larger tire bases. That they're able to take a bump a little bit better than some of the other cars. Of course, this is a higher horsepower, lower downforce car.
13 got on the wall. Sorry there, Carlos. The 13 got up on the wall off the corner. Campbell was looking underneath them, and the 13 back into the wall again. Yeah, these guys are driving super hard right now to try to get every spot they can.
In the meantime, though, Ethan Stanley and Tyler Fody still continuing to keep their battle just the same. We're going to keep an eye on that. No change for that at the moment. Hunter Smith has pulled away from Ryan Gavel, who has been struggling lately ever since we saw him get loose on the corner. We brought his attention, and since then it's kind of been a little bit of commentators' bad luck there for Gavel, as he's been dropping a couple spots.
Yeah, there's still nose to tail. 13 got up into the wall again. He's been...
Oh, man! 13. Oh, no!
It's around.
That will be a caution. Caution is out.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. That was definitely looked like the 0-0 kind of drove it in a little bit there.
Yeah, I don't know if the 0-0 drove it in there too deep or if he got some help from Gerald, but you know, we can look at the replay and kind of see maybe what happened. To the corner. Oh, yeah. I think he got some help.
Yeah. Gavel was already kind of out of shape after getting in the wall a little bit. And certainly Gerald getting in the back of him didn't help, and then Gerald tried to push the issue, it looked like, and just didn't go
Oh
around.
yeah. Oh wow. Yeah, you saw that. You saw that. Gabble got into the outside wall, exiting the corner, and then Campbell was not checking up at any point. We have less than 8 laps to go. We have 6 laps to go at the moment. He was not going to back off the throttle, and it just says, "I'll just shove you into the corner. I'll shove you in the straightaway.
Yeah.
Hopefully, you can figure your stuff out before you get to the corner." And unfortunately, he did not.
Yeah, it was definitely Gabble was definitely hitting that wall a couple times. So I don't blame Gerald for trying to be super aggressive on that one, especially coming into the closing laps. You want to be able to get every position you can to set yourself up for the main event.
Now, I believe you're sometimes monitoring the in-race chat. I don't know if there was any bickering going on there between these two drivers, or if everything seemed like everybody understood what happened.
It was definitely it's definitely very civil. I mean, there was a conversation, but nothing too crazy. You know, just kind of, just a civil conversation. Everybody seems to be pretty chill about it.
All right, well, we are 1 to green yet again, with 5 laps to go, 4 laps remaining when they cross and restart the race. So the question is, can Ethan Stanley do the same thing and hold on to his race lead, or will Tyler Fody be able to work some magic there on this restart?
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see as the pace car's pulling off. Probably not going to have as much grip on this restart here. It'll be interesting to see what happens.
Oh wow, Ethan Stanley just took off by himself, while Tyler Fody does have Hunter Smith to his inside. Shouldn't be too much of a battle there for these two guys, as Fody should be able to clear him exiting the corner. He's short. Oh, well, he's going to do it now before entering turns 3 and 4. But Ethan Stanley is going to be clear, and unless there's another caution, he should be it's going to be his race to lose.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And it looked like Stanley didn't run as high going into 1 and 2 that time. Probably took a more kind of defensive approach to, again, avoid Fody from doing too much of a crossover on him. As they're side by side on back. Jared Rexing, Ryan Gable are side by side. They're racing each other super hard. It's crunch time. We got 2 laps to go. It's time to go.
Yeah, I mean the race is not over. Oh man,
he's
Gab on the wall again.
Yeah, he's been painting that wall with the side of his car all night.
He also had shoulder right on his back bumper. He could have potentially been spun out, as we have the white flag is out, and I believe that's Gerald Campbell got loose exiting 3 and 4, so he's going to drop all the way to the tail end of the field. By the way, shout out to Ethan Resiner, able to finish this half. Complete turnaround from the first half that they had last week, where they struggled to get a couple laps into any race. So good job to Ethan to finish this race out, as Ethan Stanley gonna go ahead and win the first heat. He'll be starting off first. Yeah, he'll be starting off first here in the main event.
Yeah, pretty convincing win right there for in the heat for Ethan Stanley, as Fody follows him home to finish second place.
That was a fun half. It's a fun heat there we had there. Couple cautions, couple incidents, but everybody seemed to keep themselves civil. And well, Jess, I went through the first heat's starting grid. I'll go ahead and give you the second heat.
Alrighty. Lineup on pole position is Nick Massey with Matt Gruenberg starting alongside him. Tate Lytle will be starting in third place with Frankenfield alongside him in row 2. And Zach Evans starting on inside of row 3 with Johnny Thomas on his outside. Andrew Rucker starting inside of row 4 in 7th place with Tanner J. Watkins on his outside. And Marshall Stanley is rounding out the grid in 9th place.
All right, that's going to do it for the second heat's starting lineup. I want to go ahead and take a moment to thank Premier Series partners, starting with Blue Egg Marketing. You rev up your business with Blue Egg, your marketing pit crew. Turbocharge your lead generation with experienced drivers that can navigate the competitive track to connecting with your customers. With Blue Egg, you're always in the pole position, leading your brand toward victory lane. Don't spin your wheels. Accelerate success with Blue Egg, fueling small businesses to win big. Also want to shout out Worldwide Technology Raceway. They are a motorsports racing facility in Madison, Illinois, just east of St. Louis, Missouri, close to the Gateway Arch. It features a 1.25-mile oval that hosts the NASCAR Cup Series, NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, and the NTT IndyCar Series. It also has a 2-mile infield road course used by the Speed Tour Trans Am, SCCA, and the Porsche Club of America. It also has a quarter-mile NHRA sanctioned drag strip that hosts the annual NHRA Camping World Drag Racing Series Midwest Nationals event, and the Kartplex, state-of-the-art kart racing facility. And also massive shout-out to 4D Raceway. So pace car is off, Jess. Go ahead and let you take this this initial start here for half number 2.
Alrighty then, it's going to be Massey leading them along with Matt Grunberg to his outside. Green flag is in the air, and Grunberg gets a really good jump there on the outside.
Wow. I am not quite sure.
Too good of a jump. I've been hearing possibly the outside may have jumped it. We'll have to see what they think, what race control thinks.
Definitely keep us updated on that, Jess. But yeah, Grunberg and Massey, Chad got a really good start there for the race. Nick Massey, who qualified on pole for this heat, immediately lost it to begin with. So he's fighting a losing battle here, being stuck on the inside line. And as I just mentioned, that outside line is going to be key, especially for defensive purposes. You wanna maintain that position on the outside, and if you can hold that outside line, you probably won't be passed.
Exactly, and look at Massey. He started on pole, and he dropped all the way back to 4th position, as you said, and Frankenfield's taking advantage of it, and Johnny Thomas is taking advantage of it, and Grunberg out to a pretty healthy lead here, but Frankenfield's trying to close in on him.
Yep, and taking a look a little bit further back in the battle for 6th to be between Andrew Rucker and Zach Evans. Let's go on board here with Zach Evans for just a little bit as he's trying to battle with the in-car camera that we have here. Don't hit that wall, Zach.
Drive it in. He tries to drive it in and almost lost the position, but was able to get that momentum back.
Up ahead of him! A spin! Frankenfield goes around.
Actually, kind of curious about what happened on that one. It looked like he was
that was like towards the middle of the front stretch. I have a feeling he got some help there. So let's take a look at the replay, see what happened to Frankenfield. Oh wow!
Yeah, he just lost it.
Just gave it too much beans exiting the corner, and spun out. I wonder with how everybody's complaining about how tight the cars are, if this is the case of the car pushing so much that it eventually snaps loose exiting the corner. I don't know. It didn't look like that.
And it also could be one of those deals where you're just trying to maybe just gas it a little bit more on exit to try to help with some rotation, but sometimes you can give it a little bit too much and loop yourself around.
Off the corner and just too much beans, and around goes Frankenfield.
Ooh, looks like Thomas got a piece of that too.
Yeah, just a little kiss, un besito, as some people like to say.
He definitely has some left front damage right there on that 91 machine.
Well, if it's anything that these cars are known for, it's how much downforce they're able to generate. Dave Huckleberry, shout out to Dave. How you doing, man? I hope you're having a great night. Saying on the YouTube chat, Heat 2, aka the alternate livery heat, as we do have the pole sitter is not running one of the designed SRX or ERX vehicles.
As they
speaking of designs, why don't you give a shout out to Seth Rawls Designs for designing all of the ERX vehicles that you see out there. Did a fantastic job with all of them.
Oh yeah, I'm very impressed with them too. They look so clean, so beautiful. It makes me kind of wish I was out there running them. As a pace car pulls off right here. Looks like Gruenberg is going to take the outside once again. Thomas will be underneath him in second place. And as they come into the restart zone, green flag, and Gruenberg has a great start while they're side by side for second place. And it looks like Thomas will be able to slide up in front of them to get that spot, as Nick Massey is underneath Tate Lytle for third.
Massey putting himself on the inside line on purpose, trying to be aggressive here in the start of the race. I'm sure you could probably get a pass or two, but well, if you're not able to get out of that inside line, you'll find yourself dropping a couple more positions. Oh, no.
Oh, car in the wall.
That was Marshall Stanley, who, unless you saw somebody else, I saw him get loose. I don't think I saw him hit the wall, though.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, yeah, he got a little bit loose there, but kept it clean. Nobody went around. We're still green. And to allude to about trying to make passes on the bottom, not only could you put yourself, if you don't make the pass like you said, Carlos, not only does it put you in a position where you can lose spots to people running on the outside, but it can also damage your front tires too, because of course you're having to turn the wheel much more just to get the car to turn.
Yep, and it shouldn't be an issue here in the heats, but in the main event, 100 laps, and we did see drivers who were running up near the front start to struggle in those last 10-15 laps because they wore out their stuff. We had a potential for a different winner last week, but unfortunately they used up a little too much of their stuff getting through the field, so in those last couple laps they just weren't able to get enough grip to do what they needed to do to get the win.
Yeah, I'll tell you what though, Massey is not giving up on that bottom lane. There's a little bit of a bump there, a little bit of a nudge, but kept it clean. Like I said, he is not giving up on that bottom. He's trying so hard to try to see if he can get a pass done, but he's going to lose the position to Andrew Rucker.
I see Chad Frankenfield is trying to catch up slowly, getting past Zach Evans now for that 6th place position, as Zach has dropped from restarting in 5th down to 7th, and unfortunately he did start on the inside line, lost a spot immediately because of that, and is now losing one to Chad, who was definitely upset with himself. He was running 2nd when he spun out on his own. He gave it too much beans exiting the corner on 3 and 4, and gave away all the track position he had. And Jess, this is a track position heavy race. You definitely want to prioritize your track position.
Oh yeah, definitely. And it looked like Evans definitely that last lap definitely got off the corner bad off of 2 and got into the wall a little bit, and that's how Chad was able to get by him. But he's having a peek underneath Chad again. But again, Chad has the run off the corner.
Meanwhile, up in 2nd place, Tate Lytle has caught up to Matt Gruenberg as he got around Johnny Thomas.
Right here.
Yeah, he got around Johnny Thomas a couple laps ago, and he's been running down Matt Gruenberg. It's only I think only a matter of time before he gets by him. As whatever they're doing here in the second heat, the cars are definitely looser than we saw in heat number 1. I don't know if the track condition has changed dramatically, that it's made the cars looser, but the general feeling I was getting is the cars were incredibly tight, and as they were last week. But now we're seeing a couple cars spin out, get sideways in the middle of the corner, exit of the corner. As
he cleared them.
Yeah, just like that, Tate Lytle has got him around and taken the race lead.
Yeah, I think the track conditions definitely changed. You know, there's probably a lot more grip in the track now than there was earlier. So probably will help a little bit with that tight condition. But yeah, that was quite a move by Tate Lytle to take the lead away from Matt Gruenberg. As you see Johnny Thomas trying to join the battle and try to get that 2nd spot away from Gruenberg. He's right on his back bumper.
Going on board here with Johnny Thomas. So his vehicle doesn't appear to be as loose as we saw with Tate Lytle, but he's been running that inside line and gaining time on Matt Gruenberg. I wonder if Matt has maybe killed his tires a little early on.
Definitely would not be surprising at all. But again, I think with this track, it's definitely like a weird track as far as like track conditions. So definitely with the track getting colder, with the track getting colder and whatnot, it definitely helps with the overall grip of the track. I noticed that. Like, I know this is a different, it's a different car, but I noticed that with, like, when I ran the ARCA cars here a couple months ago in Elite Racing League. I definitely noticed that the track got a lot more. There was a lot more grooves in the track as it got cooler.
And a little further back is a battle between these two drivers, Andrew Rucker, Nick Massey, Chad Frankenfield. They've been going at it for a bit as Frankenfield and Massey made contact, and Massey just hasn't been able to catch a break. He got a fantastic qualifying effort. Second, that means he started first on this heat, but never got to lead a lap. I don't think he even was the first driver to cross the start-finish line in first, as immediately got past, lost 2 positions, and it's just been going downhill for him ever since.
Oh, Chad has a run. He got into the back of Rucker there a little bit. It's
oh, contact! That's a caution with 2 to go.
Yeah,
Zach Evans was not happy with that.
Front end, yeah, that front end is gone on Zach Evans' car.
Oh, contact between Frankenfield goes around. I think that may have been retaliation. That's going to be a no-go for sure. Let's well, we have limited time here before we go back to green. Let's take a look and see what happened. Can't quite see what's going on. Frankenfield drives it, really deep. And, oh, wow. He drove it in there so deep and ran into a 91 and the 64.
That's, yeah, that didn't look too good on Chad's part. And, of course, Thomas, retaliated for caution.
All right, well, that car should not have spun out like that. I blame that one, maybe a little bit on netcode, but that's going to be deemed more than likely as retaliation. You're going to see if there's going to be anything coming out of that. See if we can take a different look before. They're still not double filed up yet. Chad's going to drive it in there. He's going to send it, and unfortunately, 91 chose his line there, and that's not the line that the 15 was hoping that Johnny would have taken.
Yeah. And Chad immediately owned up to it. He knew immediately that he messed up on that one. And I'll be honest, I don't blame Johnny for being too mad about that. But yeah, it was just a bad deal. As we got the 1 to green, it looks like we'll be going green this time by.
That's going to shake some things up. Pace cars off. Tate Lytle in first, Mac Gruenberg second. Chad still third.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how Lytle does on this restart on the bottom. I know Gruenberg's been running the top, taking the top on these restarts. So green flag is out, and Lytle's got a good little jump there.
And Chad's on the inside there of Mac Gruenberg for that second place position. His car, I mean, really not that damaged at all. He might be able to get that second place spot. Oh, somebody goes around in the back.
No. They kept it together. We're still green.
Zach Evans did a fantastic... Oh, he's loose. That car is damaged for sure. White flag is out as Tate Lytle. No competition, but Mac Gruenberg still has Chad Frankenfield right behind him, but so does Andrew Rucker. He's right there, right behind Chad. Can he do something similar to what Chad did going into the final corner? No, Chad just drives in there deep again.
Ooh. And coming off of turn 4, it's going to be Tate Lytle that takes heat 2 tonight. Frankenfield gets second spot. Yeah,
when Chad doesn't have another driver right in front of him, I guess that's a viable strategy for like a last lap pat. Oh, low contact there, as that's going to do it here for both.
Congratulatory bump right there. Nothing too crazy.
Yep. Well, that was a great drive by Chad to get that second place spot. We are currently in the warm up phase. Let's hear quick refresher here on what happened. Half number 1 was won by Ethan Stanley. He's going to be starting first in this feature event, 100 laps. Tyler Fody second, Hunter Smith third, Jared Brexing fourth, Jesse Reisem is fifth, Ryan Schuld in sixth, Ryan Gabel seventh, Ethan Resiner in eighth, and Gerald Campo had an issue there on the last lap, finishing in ninth place. Now for heat number 2, which we just saw. Are you gonna show? Oh, I have to hit show. There we go. It just took me a second. Tate Lytle won it. No competition for him there at the end. Chad Frankenfield, he caused that last caution, but was able to put any stresses or fear out the window and dive it in there deep to get a second place finish in half number 2. So in the second heat, so he'll be starting this feature race in 4th. Matt Gruenberg 3rd, Andrew Rucker 4th, Nick Massey 5th, Johnny Thomas 6th, Marshall Stanley 7th, 8th is going to be Tanner Watkins, and 9th will be Zach Evans, who nursed a wounded vehicle home there at the end. But let's go ahead and go through tonight's starting lineup for the feature race. In first place is going to be Nick Massey, Jesse Reisemis, Andrew Rucker starting tonight's race in 3rd. Jared Rexing is going to be starting in 4th. 5th is going to be Matt Gruenberg. 6th is going to be Hunter Smith. Chad Frankenfield will be starting tonight's feature race in 7th, is it?
That is 7th, yes.
Yeah, no, I see that, but I thought that he would be starting in 3rd since he finished in... I'm going to have to talk to Race Control to see how the final lineup is determined. Tyler Fody, 8th, Tate Lytle, 9th, and Ethan Stanley is starting tonight's race in 10th. Jess, go ahead and take it away.
All right, it's going to be Ryan Sheldon 11th, Johnny Thomas 12th, Ryan Gable starting 13th with Marshall Stanley right beside him in 14th. Ethan Riesener starting 15th and Tanner J. Watkins starting alongside him in 16th. And rounding out the field, it's going to be on the back row, it's going to be Gerald Camel and Zach Evans.
All right, well, let's see if we can get a very, very quick word with the driver starting all the way in the back, Zach Evans. And Zach Evans, this is Carlos Acosta in the booth. You got a copy?
I do have a copy.
All right. Well, we saw you were having a pretty decent half number 2 before chaos eventually happened. You had to nurse a wounded car home there in half number 2 or in the second half. What's your outlook here for this feature race of 100 laps?
Well, it's a lot worse than it was to start with, for sure. Track position's going to be pretty important. I think the second half of that 25 lapper, I was a little bit quicker than some of the guys in front of me, but there's just nowhere really to go. I couldn't really set up a pass until Chad decided he was just going to clean out Johnny Thomas for whatever reason. That felt like a good idea in his head. So I don't know. We'll try to save some tire and have something for the end of this thing, but it's gonna be tough. We'll see. We'll give it a shot. We'll put on a show.
All right. Well, we wish you the best of luck, Zach, and good luck out there. All right. Pace car's getting ready to pull off. Jess, I'll let you go ahead and take it away.
Alrighty, like you said, pace car pulling off. It's going to be Nick Massey leading them to the field with Jesse Racimus on his outside. As they go through the restart zone, green flag is out. Kind of a slow getaway for the front two. Racimus actually gets a good little jump going into 1. They're side by side going into turn 1.
Oh, Jesse Racimus got the good advantage there actually in the corner. I thought that Rexing was going to get, or Reisemus was going to get underneath him, but was not able to do so, as now he's struggling there on the outside. He had the advantage going on, but now he's struggling on the outside as Nick Massey's going to get the lead. Finally going to get to lead a lap here, considering he started in the front row here on the for second heat.
Yeah, meanwhile, they are all over each other for second place. Looks like Rexing's going to be able to...
Oh, no, contact! Huge damage for a bunch of drivers.
Oh, yeah, there were definitely quite a few drivers that were piled up into that one.
See, Jared Rexing, Jesse Reisemis, Tanner Watkins has significant damage. Ethan Resner was actually not involved, just came to a complete stop. I am seeing here Jared Rexing, Hunter Smith, and Tanner Watkins all have meatballs. So that is not going to be a good start for them. Let's see if we can pull up a replay and see kind of just what happened. Ooh, little clip from the 64.
Looks like Rucker got into them and just kind of just hooked him into Racine or into Rexing. That's If I had to put blame on that one, it'd probably be on Rucker. Definitely.
Let's go on board with Rucker here. Currently in third position. Actually going to be second because Hunter Smith went down pit road. Had to dodge a couple cars. Wow. Did you see how much air that car had?
Yeah, I was watching that live too. Like it was crazy to see that car get all four wheels up off the ground. I think it was all four wheels. But
For sure, at least the top wheels. But significant damage.
Yeah, but that's definitely going to end the night early for a couple drivers.
As that is going to be, for some reason. Oh no, it's all good. I thought I had the numbers backwards, but no, it's good. All right, let's take a look. Let's go on the gyro cam with Jared Rexy. By the way, Jess, if you can, let me know when they hit onto green.
Sure will.
Oh man, Tanner just came in there, too much speed, and that just sent Jared's car straight up in the air.
Meanwhile, they did take the one to green. They are currently 1-2, getting ready to come to the green.
All right. In the meantime, we did have Hunter Smith go down pit road. I'm not quite sure what the reason was for, but that's gonna mean Andrew Rucker, who started that caution there with a little contact there, is gonna be starting in second place here on this restart. First restart of the night. Lap number 6 going to be going into lap number 7. We're going to have 94 laps remaining here in this race when they cross start finish line. As whoa, big gap. I'm not sure what's going on with the 60. Whoa, what is?
Oh yeah, he was just sleeping on that restart. I don't know what happened there, but bottom 2. Yeah, but definitely the bottom 2 or bottom 3 were able to get clear of all of that.
Sure, Rich Control is going to be looking at that, not necessarily to penalize the driver, but maybe give warnings in the future, because that is that checked up all of the outside line. I think Andrew Rucker slowed down to the point that third or fourth place was able to get alongside him before they even crossed start finish line. So a lot of these drivers have front and possibly rear end damage after getting checked up like that.
Yeah, definitely wouldn't be surprised if there was like an accordion effect on that outside line and a couple drivers either got front and or rear damage. But as you can see, Nick Massey, he has just pulled away from everybody else. As looks like Frankenfield is having a look underneath Fody for second place.
I have a feeling that track position and tire management are going to be key in the race. Now, we know this, but for those tuning in that aren't aware, as Hunter Smith is going back down pit road again, so something's going on with him. But the drivers, they do not have any sets of tires that they can change into. They are running what they are bringing. That's going to be it. The only reason pit road exists is to repair the cars in case they get damage, which some of these drivers have had to do already here in this half. But yeah, no additional tires, so you got to save what you have to bring it there at the end.
Yeah, as looks like Hunter Smith has disconnected from the session. Looks like his night is done.
The real shame, unfortunately, there for Hunter Smith, as he's gonna more than likely be finishing tonight's second ever ERX race in 17th position as a second to last driver. As Tanner Watkins has also had to retire the vehicle. Could still be repairing the car. These drivers are not restricted to how long they can be in pit road, so they can. So Tanner Watkins could come back, Hunter Smith could come back, possibly, but most of the times they usually don't when they leave the session.
Meanwhile, I'm kind of looking through the middle of the field, like pretty much second place on back, and it looks like pretty much everyone's single file, just kind of minding their P's and Q's, probably trying to size each other up to see if they can make a pass. But right now it's pretty single file and orderly, just to kind of, we'll see who decides to make the move here to try to gain some spots. But right now everyone's just kind of minding their own business.
The top 8 are all kind of close by-ish, but then 9th and 10th, it's a big gap to a couple of these drivers, and I don't know if this is because they're trying to save stuff, they're trying to save their tires for the end, but it's a pretty significant gap there between a lot of these drivers and why they're so far away, starting with Jesse Reisemus and Zach Evans.
Yeah, and while that's going on, looks like Ethan Stanley's looking underneath Ryan Schill for 7th position. They're still side by side. Correction, that is Gruenberg, I believe, and that is for 5th place. My bad. But yeah, it's looks like he was able to get that pass done too.
Yeah, once these drivers get a little more single file and the adrenaline starts to wear down, people start to focus, trying to figure out what makes their car work, what they're able to learn and do and not do to better improve their position there towards the end, as Fody's having a little bit of a blinking issue right in front of Chad Frankenfield, which is pretty ironic considering that Chad Frankenfield has lately been the one that's been blinking, although he's been working hard at getting that to stop happening. And I think he's with tonight and last week has done a good job of not having to blink in the race. So hopefully his gremlins are away. But yeah, Tyler Fody a little bit of a blink. I think we saw that earlier in one of the halves. But Nick Massey showing off the strength that he didn't have there in the second heat. He's able to lead all the laps so far. But let's take a look at the last couple of laps that have been run by these top three. And you see that Fody and Frankenfield, they're really not that slower compared to Massey. This could work out for Massey, but at the time being, he can't really pull away from these guys.
Yeah, probably would want to keep an eye on Ethan Stanley again, because it looks like he's trying to make a look on Andrew Rucker for 4th place as he dives underneath them. Maybe a little bit of contact there, but they are running side by side. But can't get the pass done, and it looks like Gruenberg may have a look, but no, Stanley's going to send it in. But that's the only right now. The only battle going on for position is Stanley couldn't get the pass done.
Yeah, right behind him is going to be Matt Gruenberg. So that's something that the drivers have to be aware of. You can try to make passes on the inside, but as long as another driver's holding an outside line pretty well, then you're really not going to be able to do much. And if another driver gets right behind them and takes the outside line, you're going to be down an additional spot, as that inside line is just not advantageous. At least at the time being, it's not advantageous for anybody. Who knows? Maybe when the car loosens up a bit, and somebody saves their tire, we can see maybe an inside line dive bomb work, like we saw with Chad Frankenfield in the second attempt, or we saw with Fody doing when he got the lead there on the second heat. It's not impossible. It's just at the time being, if you can defend that outside line, you're probably going to hold on to that position.
Well, and I think it'll also depend on, like, if you're the driver attacking on the bottom, it's also going to depend on how much give that outside line is going to give to either let you back in line or let you complete the pass. Because again, like you said, you know, that bottom line, you have to be able to clear the guy in order to make it work. And a lot of times, if you don't do that, you're going to find yourself losing a lot of positions. But Stanley's still trying. He's still trying to see if he can get underneath Rucker, but there's really not a whole lot going, as the top two are starting to break away from Chad Frankenfield.
Yeah, and let's pull up the last couple laps to see. And you can see here, starting on lap 21, that Frankenfield was starting to get noticeably slower than Massey and Fody. I'm going to move that up there now.
Yeah, it could.
So he lost some time, but these last two laps haven't really been too bad. He's still losing a little bit of time, but Frankenfield is just not as consistent as Massey or Fody are.
Yeah, it looks like it could be a possibility where he could, like, after a couple laps, he might be falling victim towards Rucker and Stanley, because it's a slow process, but they're slowly just kind of reeling him in just a little bit. Makes me wonder if either Chad has burned the tires off just a little bit too much, or if he's actually saving. Ooh.
And we've encountered lap trap. Oh shoot! Yeah, you know what it is? It's the fun caution, the fun clock, as a random number between 6 and 10 minutes was determined earlier in the race, and enough time has passed where the off-track officials decided to bring out the fun caution that SRX has in their series. So that's going to allow all the drivers who are a lap down and on track to get their lap back. and also going to keep everybody kind of sorted together. So we saw the drivers ninth and back that were noticeably slower than everybody else. So that could work out in favor if they keep on doing that, because they know that there's going to be at least one more fun clock caution, more fun flag. I can't remember exactly what the term was. I'm just going to call it fun flag. If they save their tires,
the usual term.
Yeah, if they save their tires, they're looking pretty good. Especially if Verizon as Campbell, Evans, Resner, they all saved their stuff. They're driving noticeably slower compared to the rest of the field.
And that's what I was kind of noting too before that caution came out. I think Frankenfield might have been doing a little bit of some tire saving, anticipating for that fun flag to be displayed. It definitely would not surprise me.
We are 1 to green. Next time by, we're going to be going with 72 laps remaining. Not sure.
Like
okay, so it looks like Massey's taking the outside. Yeah, I don't think Tyler knew where he was going to go for a second, but now he does. Everything's going to settle up. Now the question is the outside line going to check up like we saw earlier in the first restart?
Yeah. As the pace car pulls off, Massey's going to lead them slowly down into the restart zone. Looks like Fode's going to be on his inside. And green flag is out, and Massey is gone.
Wow, it just took off beautifully. Tyler Fode had no chance to even get to his inside. Chad Frankenfield is on the inside of Andrew Rucker, battling for that third place position, as is Matt Gruenberg and Ethan Stanley. They're battling side by side for that fifth place position.
Yeah, Rucker trying to hang tough on that outside.
Oh no!
And he turns Frankenfield.
Oh wow, that's gonna be heavy damage for Frankenfield. I think Stanley also had a little bit of damage there as well, but that's gonna be a caution there for Frankenfield getting turned.
Yeah, and I just heard over the radio comms that Rucker took responsibility for that, saying he got loose off the corner and got into Frankenfield. Yeah, I didn't see Frankenfield move up there at all, so.
They look at the drone camera. Do we see Rucker get loose? Oh yeah, I can see that. I can see the car getting a little loose.
Yeah, just a tough deal for Frankenfield. He was having such a good night. I don't know how his car will handle after that.
Jared Rexing and Ryan Gavel all going down pit road. Remember, they have no tires that they can take. This is all either repairing damage or, I mean that's got to be the only reason you're going down pit road, unless you're dealing with something in real life. So Frankenfield as well, also on pit road. Forgot to mention that. Trying to see who else might be having any other issues. Everything looks good. As Rexing is back out on track, so is Frankenfield. Is I don't know when this happened, but I see Ryan Gavel and Ryan Schold both got black flags, so they cleared. I think they may have entered pit road when it was closed. But lights are off. Going to be restarting next time by with 66 laps remaining when they cross the line.
Once again, Massey's going to take that outside line. I think pretty much that's what you do every single restart from here on out, because that outside line is just way too powerful to just give up.
The only way you can make that inside line work on a restart is if you're the race leader. But even then, you don't want to risk it if you have the outside line.
Yeah, pretty much, especially if the guy on the outside anticipates that restart. But that's not happening here as the pace car pulls off. Massey's going to lead them down again into the restart zone. And the green flag is in the air. And once again, Massey gets a good start. Not as good as last start, but still pretty good to clear himself out in front of Tyler Fode.
Top 3, top 4 are all single file before they even get to the backstretch, as the only battle or the first battle behind them is a battle for that 5th place position between Gruberg and Marshall Stanley. Side by side, the advantage onto that outside line vehicles as Stanley's going to clear Grubenberg, and they're going to find themselves all single file for the time being. The next battle is going to be between Zach Evans and I believe that's Jesse Reismus.
I thought I heard something. I thought I heard a car get into the wall or something.
Yeah, that was Zach Evans who just slightly scraped it. Almost at the same thing. He was really running wide there in the corner, as he's going to be able to get clear of Jesse Reismus, but now Zach Evans is trying to hold off Gerald Campbell right behind him. And well, it's been a couple laps since we've talked to the man. How about you say we we go ahead and get a quick report from him while he's out there on the track. All right, Zach Evans, this is Carlos in the booth. You have a car on your inside. How's it going for you right now?
Oh, we're doing all right. I think I got pretty happy to get some track position on that early run. So now we're just kind of managing a little bit, trying to stay in front of some of these guys, but at the same time having some Goodyear rubber left for the end of the thing on this fine number 6.
So I noticed that you and a couple other drivers were significantly slow in that really first long run. Were you saving your tires knowing that the fun flag was going to come out, or did something happen on the restart we didn't catch?
Oh no, yeah, a bunch of guys. I mean, some guys like Tate and Johnny were doing it even like right from the jump. You know, we're all just kind of saving tires. No, we're gonna get a couple more cautions before this is over. We're gonna restart with about 15 or 20 to go, and then they're gonna put their cars on the table.
Yeah, I noticed that you're losing a couple spots. I can't help but think that maybe we might be distracting you here for a second. But is the car
driving good?
Is the car behaving any different from it did in the heat, or is it still handling the same?
It's about the same. It's still really hard on the right front, which is why a lot of guys are trying to manage that. You know, I'm trying to make sure I don't spin the tires on corner exit, make it nice and straight, easy on, easy off. Doing everything I can to manage it, because you can burn the right front off of this in a hurry. So yeah, we're just trying to manage it the best we can, and hopefully we'll be there at the end.
All right, well, we'll let you go. I don't know if we'll talk to you again in the green. We'll see. We'll take a look. Gonna keep you on your toes, and good luck out there.
Good. All right.
All right, Jess, why don't you go ahead and take it away while I get him sent back to the correct room.
Yeah. I got you, Carlos, and it looks like Nick Massey is starting to build a little bit of a lead on Fody. Fody got a little bit more of a gap on Ethan Stanley. Rucker's got the other Stanley on his back bumper for 4th place, and they also have Gruenberg in that. So that's probably one of the closest battles that we have on track currently at the moment, as looks like that 5 car is trying to, cut that exit a little bit better to try to see if he can get underneath them, but Gruenberg is just staying right on him, kind of maybe limiting what he can do to try to get by Andrew Rucker.
I really can't help but think about what Zach Evans told us, and he's a lot of the drivers straight from the drop of the flag were saving their tires, including Johnny Thomas and Gavel. And I'm looking at them now; they're 13th and they're 14th. And they're really far back there. They're 11 and 13 seconds back, because we know for sure there's going to be at least one more caution if we do just stay green, because we're not going to run 55 laps within 10 minutes at a maximum. So then this just kind of devolves into who's going to be really actually saving their tires the best. I don't think that tonight's winner is going to come out of the top 3.
Yeah, I would still it's definitely going to be a balance between doing your tire management and trying to maintain track position, because I still think at the end of the day, or at the end of the night rather, you're going to want to be as far up as you can with the best tires you can. But yeah, it's definitely an interesting strategy going into this race about trying to manage those tires, knowing that you want to anticipate those little fun cautions that they have. But it looks like Evans, like guys in the back like Evans, they're really being aggressive with the tire management to try to, you know, ensure that they have the best rubber come crunch time.
Yeah, that's the only thing that I'm thinking about of how far do you want to push it, and how far are the other drivers going to push it in retaliation, like next week, or at the next kind of like long tire wear type of track that we may be dealing with. Are we going to see a race where everybody's running purposely slow lap times and it's a matter of who runs the slower laps throughout the race, or is it just going to be something that maybe it's just going to be a bunch of like nothing, that everybody's still going to be racing just maybe a little bit of save here and there?
Yeah, kind of gives me a little bit of some Formula One vibes, you know, about having to manage your tires and everything like that. But definitely an interesting strategy, to think about. And that's what I love about these like little fun flags and like what they're doing here in the ERX series.
All right, well, it's been a hot minute. Why don't we go ahead and take a look at the last 5 laps for these top 3 drivers. Massey, of course, was able to pull away slightly from Fody and Ethan Stanley, but this could have just been Fody and Stanley kind of just taking it easier than Massey did, especially since lately they've kind of been running almost similar lap times.
Oh yeah,
well, now
I'm sure everybody's just. Yeah, I'm sure they're probably just taking it a little bit easy. They might. This might be the time where they might try to start pushing just a little bit to maybe force Massey to push a little bit more and kill his tires a little bit more. But yeah, they've. Everyone's just being extra conservative right now, just trying to anticipate that fun clock or fun caution, which I think might actually be coming. I want to say at any moment now.
I think we're getting like maybe a minute or 2 away from being within that window, but you know what? We're less than that to getting into a window of lap traffic, as right there we see Tate Lytle and Ryan Gavel, who we've noted are saving stuff. So we know for sure that yeah, they're right there, but they're not going to get lapped immediately. I'm sure Tate Lytle and Gavel are going to start pushing a little bit more to stay in the lead lap, but I mean, technically, even if they get lapped, the drivers are still allowed to get a. They're all still going to get their lap back. So caution's out, and that's going to be.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's the fun caution.
So I guess that was all a moot point, but yeah, that's the second one, and I think we're still within range of maybe having at least 2 more fun flags if we continue to go green without having our caution. So the question is, you're saving all this time. When do you start pushing? Because yeah, you can save your tires and have a lot of rubber there at the end, but what if you can't pass everybody on? The passing is hard here, no matter how much grip you have. As Ethan Resiner is going down pit road.
Yeah, I think this next restart, this next run, I feel like people are going to start getting aggressive because, like you said, track position is going to be king. You want to try to, especially with those guys in the very back, I feel like this is going to be the time where they start pushing because, all that tire saving and everything like that, you're probably going to have significantly better rubber. You want to take advantage of it as quickly as you can, with especially at a track like this where it's so hard to pass.
I'm actually a little different in this case. I don't think that now's when they're going to start to start pushing a little bit more. I think we're going to have to go through at least one more fun flag, or at least one more long run. I'd say maybe with about 30, maybe 25 laps remaining, maybe they'll start pushing. But I don't think that you really should wait that long. I should say, I don't really think you should wait further than that. Jerry Rexing went down pit road, by the way.
Yeah. Whereas they got the 1 to go signal, they are lined up double file. Massey on the outside once again.
Yeah, these cautions are going by quick because Schultz, Smith, and Watkins are all technically in pit road. Let me see if it gets updated, if I refresh that. Oh no, they're all 3 drivers have left the server, so they're all listed as out. So that's why the cautions are going by even quicker.
As the pace car has pulled off, once again it's Massey leading them down into the restart zone. And the green flag is out. Another good restart from Massey as Fody clears himself for second as they're side by side for third.
side by side for the lead as Fody drove it in there just a little bit deep. It's not going to be enough to really challenge for the lead, but it is going to be enough to have Tyler comfortably drift up and claim that second place finish. As now Stanley and Rucker battle for that third place spot as they're going 3 wide. Gerald Campbell, Ethan Stanley, Marshall Stanley.
Yeah, it looked like Stanley kind of pinched him up, Rucker up there a little bit, and forced Gerald Campbell to go down there and take it 3 wide, and they are still 3 wide.
I'm very upset with Rucker for not being in the middle of that Stanley sandwich.
Rucker got into the wall.
Yeah, and said he was on the outside line, so I couldn't even make that joke. But yeah, Rucker loses a couple spots as the Stanleys are going to go right by around him as Rucker drops down to 5th place spot.
Rucker still not giving it up, though. He tried to have a little look underneath Campbell right there, but no luck there as Grunberg's going to start hounding him for that 5th spot. As we may have a battle for the lead up here between Fody and Massey.
Not quite
Fody
there
is right
yet.
there on his back bumper.
He's there. He's sniffing. I don't think Fody's going to make the pass at the moment as Frankenfield goes around. That's going to bring out the caution.
Frankenfield.
I think he may have gotten some help this time by.
Possibly. We'll have to have a look.
Help was, I believe, Tate Lytle? No, that's Ryan Gabble that he made contact with exiting the corner. Let's get a chopper cam out there. On board here with the chopper cam exiting the corner. I think netcode was involved.
Yeah, that looked a little netcodey.
I think netcode was involved, but honestly, I think there could have been contact regardless. But I can't, without a reasonable doubt, say that is what would have happened. But Frankenfield goes around. That's going to kill his tires a little bit. That is not what he wants because he loses A, track position, and B, tire grip there. He's definitely taking a decent chunk out of the tire lifespan there by going sideways. So second time this race, so you can't really be doing that to your tires too much. Not that he did it on purpose.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. And like you said, he was already probably pushing them like crazy too, and now, what, like 2 or 3? Oh, how many spins he got? Like 2 or?
I think that's 2 spins.
Yeah, 2 spins. Yeah, that's definitely not going to help the tires at all.
63 laps are going to be completed when they cross start finish line here with 36 laps remaining. 1 to green, so we're going to be restarting. 37 laps remaining. 1 to green, so we're going to be restarting with 36 laps remaining. I think definitely within the realm of one more fun flag. And the question will be, who's going to push in when? Did Fody disconnect? Okay, no, he's back. He's back.
Yeah, he's back. He's having a little bit of a... I thought that too, but it looks like he's having a little bit of a blinking episode. So as pace car pulls off, we'll see what they do with Fody on this one. But it looks like he's still pretty good on the blinking. So Massey will lead them once again off of turn 4 to the restart zone. Green flag is in the air. Massey goes. Gerald Campbell is on the outside of Tyler Fody right there. Fody was not able to clear himself either, and Campbell's going to be looking on the outside of him for second spot.
Little bit of a difference there between Fody. This restart and last restart, he was able to clear himself and get cleared onto that second place spot. This time by, he does have Campbell battling, and unfortunately for him, Campbell does have the advantage on the outside line, so as long as he's able to do a good job holding it, which I don't think he is, Fody's going to clear himself and get sole possession in second place.
And Ethan Stanley looks underneath at Gerald Campbell for third place. Stanley, a little bit of contact there, maybe. As Stanley tries to bully his way through. But they're still side by side. As Campbell's not giving up on that outside line, and Stanley is not. A little bit more contact. Shoving. I mean, it worked. Stanley was able to get that spot.
It works, but now you've possibly painted a target on your back. If you're Ethan Stanley, as Gerald Campbell probably not going to take that one too lightly. Going to remember that one in the later parts of the race. Now, the only thing I'm questioning here is are some of these guys maybe pushing it a little too hard? I know track position is important, but do you really want to sacrifice that much of your tires trying to get 1 or 2 spots there in the start of the race?
It's definitely an interesting strategy, but I think we're almost to that point where like if we get another caution, I don't think we'll get another fun flag. Any cautions after that will probably be will be actual like cautions for like wrecks and stuff like that. So maybe that's factoring into these guys' decision making. Maybe they're trying to push a little bit harder, anticipating. Some of them may not be anticipating another fun caution. So this might be what we got right now.
And that's a good point. These laps do go by very quick. They're kind of running 20 early 23 seconds, and I think Nick Massey's the only one still kind of running in the 22s, 22.9s. So everybody else is running 23s and 23s 2s, 23s. So they're still very quick lap times. Yeah, I don't think there's going to be another fun caution, a fun flag.
There might be one late in the race if it goes green. But yeah, definitely we'll only see maybe one more, and that's it.
Yeah, there's 30 laps remaining, 29 now when they cross start finish line, and Massey able to keep a healthy gap between him and Fody, but they're both gapping Stanley and Campbell, who were fighting for a while, but that battle has cooled off a little bit. Interesting
strategy will be to see if who anticipates another fun caution and who doesn't. Because if I'm somebody like Ethan Stanley, I might be you never know. They could be anticipating another fun caution and probably save their stuff for a potential late race restart. It'll be interesting to see how everybody pans out in these final 28 laps.
You know what I just remembered? I don't think that SRX allowed the fun flag to come out within 10 to go. I think once it got to 10 to go, then that was disabled. So I have a feeling that's going to be the same thing here. So they're not really battling to get, finish the race. Oh, no, well, caution's going to come out regardless. That's going to end it. Wow, Zach Evans' evasive maneuver, unfortunately evasive himself into the outside wall. As caution is out for Jesse Reisemus and Marshall Stanley. Honestly, I think that's going to be it for the fun flag. I don't think it's going to come out anymore tonight.
Yeah, we're not going to have any more fun flags.
I think it's whatever the drivers have that they're going to have to contend with. As Marshall Stanley has gone around and made contact with Jesse Reisemus. Or excuse me, Jesse Reisemus has gone around and made contact with Marshall Stanley. Battling Andrew Rucker.
Yeah, it looked like, Jesse, he kind of moved up a little bit, maybe into Rucker, maybe didn't anticipate Rucker to be that low, and then just kind of bent out of shape, and then Marshall Stanley just got into the back of him and looped him around, so.
Let's go on board with Ethan. Ethan Resner is, that was very close to collecting another driver. Going on board, there's a spin. On the brakes immediately, great job, and I just didn't expect the other car to come down like that. As let's also take a look at Zach Evans. He did lightly tag the outside wall, but he did a fantastic job with the evasive maneuvers to kind of avoid making that situation worse. Throws himself to the right and is able to dodge the incident.
I think he's definitely going to have a little bit of some damage, but I don't think it'll hurt him significantly. As the looks like lights are off the pace car, looks like we're going to be going 1 to green once again here.
And with 23 laps remaining when the cross start finish line, this is essentially a third heat here, as the heats were 25 laps each.
Yeah, and I will almost guarantee you, nobody's going to be safe it now.
Oh yeah, at this point, everybody's going to be going for it.
Pay window's open, as they say.
As I'm starting to change my opinion on how it's going. I have a feeling that those drivers who saved a lot in the first half, I don't think they're going to be able to get the passes done in time, as Nick Massey just pulls away to another fantastic restart. Sole possession of first place. Tyler Fody does a great job to get that second position. But the battle for third continues, or is starting to heat up even more, as Gerald Campbell, Ethan Stanley, just a little bit of trading paint there going through the corners, and any slip-ups, and a couple more drivers may join here for position as contact.
Oh!
Heavy damage. They're going around.
Oh, there we go.
That's kind of what you expected to see there when a lot of these drivers are going 2 wide, almost 3 wide, like back to back. Is going to be significant damage to Andrew Rucker, Ryan Gavel, Gerald Campbell. I think Ethan Resner came to a complete stop, so I don't think he was involved in that. But let's take a look here at the replay.
Cautions breed cautions.
They sure do. As the internet's actually a little bit ahead.
Yeah. It looked like Stanley maybe tried to clear himself up and wasn't quite. Oof. Wait, was Chad able to avoid that?
Yeah, I think he did. I don't think he lifted.
We'll have to get on board of that, but yeah, it looked like Stanley just tried to clear himself up on Rucker and just wasn't clear.
Let's see if we can get a different angle on that. Let's go with the blimp camera. Slow it down here.
Or actually, it was Gerald Campbell, not Andrew Rucker, that he was trying to clear. But yeah, just the slightest contact right there. I mean, I think you could probably say that Campbell was maybe trying to see if he could cut underneath Stanley to try to get back under him. But yeah, it was just that ever so slight contact right there, and that created a huge chain effect. Yeah, I'm watching Frankenfield right here, see what he does. Gets on the brakes to avoid running into Stanley. Yeah, gets right through there. Yep. Good heads up driving right there by Chad Frankenfield.
Here's going in the roll camera and the roll cam here for Chad Frankenfield.
Ooh, threaded the needle too. Wow.
I mean, you kind of have to do that because the caution may have been delayed a little bit. He could have gained a spot or two. I don't think in this case it really did give him a spot because I think the caution came out very quickly as we're about to go green here very, very soon. But it's hard to pass. He's now up to 8th. Evans up to 5th. But here's the thing, though. Johnny Thomas and Tate Lytle, 3rd and 4th. They were heavily saving their stuff there. They may have a shot at the win here.
Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely keep an eye on them as pace car pulls off. Nick Massey once again going to lead them down towards the green flag restart zone. Tyler Fody on his inside. And let's give a little shout out to Johnny Thomas too. He's had a quiet night. He's up there. Massey, big stack up on the bottom as Massey gets ahead. Johnny Thomas looks like he's going to take second spot away from Tyler Fody here.
Going around.
Caution comes out. There's a wreck in the back.
24 has gone around. That is going to be Matt Gruenberg.
Matt Gruenberg.
But yeah, I don't know what happened to Fody there. He just, I guess he fell asleep or maybe he was from the wrong gear, but just didn't take off, and that costed Lytle a couple spots. But that was phenomenal for the outside line. Thomas got up to 2nd. Evans, I actually think he stayed the same because he was going to restart 6th. Now he's 5th. But yeah, big changes here. Let's take a look at the replay. Oh, I have the wrong thing on. There we go. So this is because of the checkup, I think. Or no, I think at this point it's past it. As 24 got a little help from Chad. As
oh no.
Chad's just he's
there's something big going on under caution. What on earth just happened?
Hello?
Something happened under caution. I was just watching it live as I was watching that replay.
I see something happen to Tate Lytle and Zach Evans. Let's take a look and see what happens. What?
So that was a separate incident.
Oh! I know what's happening. I've seen this happen before. This sucks. Who was that ran into Tate? That's Chad.
No, that's been Stanley because Stanley dropped out with packet loss.
Yeah, so I've seen this happen before. and sometimes iRacing will disconnect the driver who's having the packet loss issue. Like they don't see anybody else on screen. However, they're not actually gone from the server. From what they're seeing, everybody's gone. They don't see anybody. They don't have anything. They're just out there driving by themselves. But on everybody else's screen, the guy's still there, and he's just driving through them because, I mean, the guy doesn't know any better. I've seen it happen before, and that's a real shame that this happened now. I think it may be too late to restart the server, so a couple of drivers got affected with that. If we don't go 1 to green, no, we don't. Okay, as they're still kind of dealing. Oh, I have a message here.
And looks like Chad Frankenfield dropped out.
Yeah, I think he was also doing the same thing. Let's go ahead and bring up our in-car reporter. Let's go ahead and bring him up into the air. Zach Evans, I think you just became a victim of a rare iRacing DC that isn't a DC.
Yeah, that appears to be what happened. I saw somebody spin behind me, and I should have reacted a lot quicker. But I thought it was just a guy, wheel spinning or whatever. I didn't think it was a whole kerfuffle we were having. And next thing I knew, I was looking at the ground, which is never good. So.
Yep, 1 to green.
Yeah,
is the car damaged?
It's definitely got some damage, but no meatball. The wheel's still pointing in the right direction. We're gonna go short track race and see what we got here.
All right, man. Hey, best of luck.
All right, man.
Thank you.
Pace car's coming off.
And green flag's out, and Nick Massey gets a good jump. Johnny Thomas maintains his second spot as Tyler Fode slots in behind him in third.
Yeah, a calmer restart of the race here compared to what we had last time by. But Johnny Thomas was one of the drivers who was saving significant. He's already gotten past Fode because of a restart issue with Fode. Got loose. As Fode's going to get a run on the outside line. So now the question is, did Johnny Thomas save enough tires? Is he going to come across? Fode shoves him a little bit, and now Fode's going to dive it in there deep on the inside. This is a battle for second. We have a battle for third also going on right behind him. Or excuse me, fourth.
Oh, this is a huge wad of cars right here. A lot of them have no front ends either. They've been involved in multiple different accidents.
Yeah, Fode got that second place position back from Thomas, and Thomas, I don't think he's got the tires to match Massey and Fode right now. Or I think he does have better tires, but I don't think he's got the speed right now, as he's on the back bumper of Fode. But Massey's just pulling away. They're going to have 9 to go when they cross the line. The big battle here going on there in that third place position. That's where we may see a caution coming out here soon.
Yeah, more than likely. It's getting really messy back there as Zach Evans is trying to make his move up. Oh, he gets into the wall just a little bit right there. But yeah, little bit sideways from Gerald Campbell, but they hold on to it. It's definitely a big wad of cars. You can see Evans, he is trying his best to work his way through this as they go. Oh, he squeezes through the middle. Just 3 wide for just a moment, but hey, they keep it together, and they're still running.
Oh, contact 56 is going to go around. That's going to bring up the caution. Tate Lytle has gone around and brings out the 9th caution here in the night. Meanwhile, Massey, Fode, Thomas, your top 3. Rysam is 4th, and Campbell currently in 5th. We may have ourselves at least one more restart. But let's take a look and see what happened at Tate. I think he got a little contact from the 6 as Zach Evans made the car upset going into the corner, and unfortunately just wasn't able to recover as the car just completely started spinning out as it started to get into, set themselves into the corner.
Yeah, definitely. There's that whole thing about patience early on in the race. Yeah, it's gone. It's gone.
That was a little contact. I don't know why the car reacted that way. I mean, we'll take a look from the onboard of Zach Evans, because maybe it looked harsher in his point of view, because it just really didn't seem like it was that big of a contact. Oh no, that's definitely bigger than I thought it was. Yeah, that definitely would get the car upset like it did, and unfortunately, just Tate wasn't able to get it woed down before he got into the corner.
Yeah, everybody else was kind of like trampling over each other too, and everything when all that was going on, and looks like everybody got by him okay. So thankful for that one.
You take a look at the front bumpers of these cars, and the cars don't really have rear bumpers. They just have well, I mean, technically they do. It's just not covered. They have bumper bars like you would see in a modified vehicle. You can't really get underneath that, but if you can lift up the rear wheels just a little bit if you get the car in just right angled in the correct point of view. Because when the cars are on the brakes, their front bumpers are down and the rear bumper bars are sticking up a little. It can be enough to get to upset the vehicle. But,
and I think you also got to factor in theoretically with how the bumper bars are, you could hook a driver. It looks like you could probably hook a driver very easily just by barely touching them.
All right. Well, we're still pacing around. Let's bring up Zach Evans, and Zach, we want to get your point of view. What happened there? We see that grin.
I believe I punted Tate Lytle is what happened there.
Do you think that's going to have season-long consequences for you?
I don't. Maybe. I don't know how often I'll be around Tate. If he pays me back, it is what it is. I earned that one, but I mean, I was behind him for 3 or 4 laps and gave him the old 3-tap rule, and eventually I wasn't even trying to get into him that time, but we ran out of taps. So yeah, that's how that went. I'm not gonna lie about it.
All right. Well, we've seen some of the guys that were saving their tires kind of struggle to make passes, even to maintain a second place position. How do you feel? Do you think the tire wear strategy is going to work out tonight, or do you think it's not really?
I mean, the guys that rode for the first half are now running third, and well, I just punted one of them, so I think it worked out fine. It's just now we're down to the nut busting time.
All right, well, we'll let you continue then.
All right.
Zach Evans talking about. Nope. Take over.
Yep. And pace car pulls off. This will be a regular attempt at the restart, not an overtime or anything, as Massey leads them around. Green flag is out. 2 laps to go here at IRP.
Interesting to know ERX got a black flag. I think he may get that cleared. It could just be a restart issue. But I do want to note that. You got it cleared? All right, that's good. Yeah, yep, single foul for Nick Massey. Yeah, Tyler Fode, yep. No problems there. The battle is between Johnny Thomas and Jesse Reisman for that 3rd place position.
Yep, as they come off 4, white flag is out. Final lap here at IRP. Massey still leading Tyler Fode comfortably.
Yeah, Massey has been dominating, I think, this whole race. I don't think he's going to pass once. And now he's going to go into 3 and 4 comfortable without any hesitation. It looks like he might find himself in victory lane here tonight.
And off of turn 4, it's going to be Nick Massey who gets the win here in the ERX series at IRP. Fode second, Johnny Thomas rounds out the podium.
What a fantastic ride by Thomas, as well as Evans, who were hanging out in the back the majority of this race, are able to get themselves a good, solid top 5. I think that's the 2nd top 5 for Zach Evans. I think he had a 5th place finish in half number 1 as well. But Nick Massey, I gotta figure out exactly. I gotta talk to race control, figure out what the procedure is for the heats, because I thought he was gonna be starting towards the back of the main event for finishing towards like the middle, towards the back of the 2nd heat. But started off in the outside pole position, or excuse me, started off in 1st place actually, and led wire to wire. He got himself the victory. Because now he's celebrating there in victory lane.
Yeah, what a win for Nick Massey there. Put on, like you said, a dominating clinic in front of everybody. And the only one that could probably maybe get a hold of him was probably Fode. But like we said, all night track position is going to be king. And Massey just had the perfect track position. And he is the winner tonight.
he definitely made up for the mistake he had there on the second heat, where he started in the pole for the second heat and just never even got to lead a lap, as he got passed twice before he even got to turns one on that first first initial race.
Probably learned something about these restarts from that one experience.
Well, definitely did, and now he's celebrating in victory lane. So let's go ahead and go through the final race results. Then we're going to talk to your top 3 drivers. Soon as it decides it wants to show up. Oh no, what did I break? Alright, well, we'll take a look. Oh, I know what I did. Oh, I apologize, guys. I was trying to show the grid for some reason. This is the final race results here, and Jess, I'm going to let you go ahead and take that away.
All right, and like we said, Nick Massey is your winner tonight. Tyler Fode finishes second, and Johnny Thomas rounds out the podium. Jesse Razimus is finishing in 4th place. Zach Evans 5th. Ryan Gable 6th. Gerald Campbell 7th. Andrew Rucker 8th. Marshall Stanley is 9th, and Ethan Reisner rounds out the top 10. You got Matt Gruenberg in 11th. Tate Lytle 12th, Jared Rexing 13th, Chad Frankenfield 14th, Ethan Stanley 15th. 16th was Ryan Schuld, Hunter Smith finished 17th, and Tanner J. Watkins rounded out the field in 18th place.
All right, and we have all top 3 drivers in the waiting room. Let's go ahead and Jess, why don't you go ahead and get Johnny Thomas here for finishing tonight's race in 3rd place.
Hey, Johnny Thomas, this is Jess up into the booth. You got a copy?
Hey, Jess. Yeah, I got you guys.
What a run by you tonight to be able to finish on the podium place. It looked like you were in the back there probably conserving a little bit of your stuff, and you managed to get a podium finish in 3rd place. Tell us about your night.
Yeah, it was uneventful, then really eventful. For the first 60 laps, I knew that right front was going to be wearing quite a bit. There's a couple other guys that thought so too. Tate and Gabble thought so. So I was just riding behind Tate for most of the race, past him. Just kind of kept a buffer of about a second slower than the leader to save the right front. And then after that lap 55 caution or so, started going up towards there. And Tate was going to win the race, and he got caught with that Ethan Stanley glitch. I don't know, he had a computer issue and crashed the field under caution. But when that happened, I thought I had a chance to win, and I didn't realize it, but I had like left front damage that once we fired off made my car super tight, and couldn't get Nick, and blew my shot at second with Fode. I think I was just a little bit too rambunctious on that restart, so I'm kind of bummed out I didn't win. I had the freshest tires once Tate got damaged, but still fun. These things are a handful, and it's cool that Chad doesn't allow us to change tires because it's a new strategy. And the other kind of thing that bit me in the butt though was Chad glitched out, and we were advancing the yellows by like 2 laps, and I just needed more green flag laps to get up there. And when he glitched out, he wasn't obviously advancing it to where we can go green, and we burned up a lot of laps there, but it's still fun.
Got anything for him, Carlos?
No, so you did a fantastic job, because we were talking to Zach, and he was name dropping people who were on the similar strategy, and saying that you and Tate were doing the same thing but to an extreme. And I would look, and you guys would be 13, 14 seconds back, almost to the point of getting lapped. But you guys were able to save your stuff, get through the chaos that helped it a lot, and get yourself a top 3 position. But looking forward to next week. Where do you think your chances are there?
Where are we?
That's a good question.
I believe we're going to be at the dirt track, and that's going to be in 2 weeks' time.
Oh,
on
nice.
The second dirt track at Charlotte.
So we have an off week, and then dirt track at Charlotte. I mean, that's my kind of bread and butter. I expect to be up front there most of the time. There'll be no saving tires there, so it'll be all out. It'll be fun.
Alrighty.
Actually, I do have a question. I do have a question.
What?
How dare you not have a webcam tonight?
I should have. Next week, I'll be in race reporter and I'll have the webcam for you guys. So you guys
Awesome.
have some fun. Or the week after, right?
Yeah, the week after.
Oh, yeah, we got a week break. So that'll be fun there at Charlotte Dirt Track.
Alrighty, before we let you go, do you have any shout outs or anything you want? Anybody you want to
I don't
thank or
know,
anything?
man. Yeah, Belly Up Sports for putting on the season last year in the Cup Series. I think it was pretty successful, and they'll be back for 2024B in the Cup Series. And you guys did a great job. I was listening to the Heat 1 race, so good job out there.
All right, thank you so much for that, Johnny, and congratulations on your podium finish tonight. Get a good night's rest, and we'll see you next time at the Charlotte Dirt Track.
Sweet, thanks, guys.
All right, that was your third place finisher, Johnny Thomas. So let me go ahead and bring in second place finisher, Tyler Fody. Jess, take it away.
Tyler Fody, this is Jess up in the booth. You got a copy?
What's up, Jess?
Hey, Tyler, how you doing?
We're tired. It was a night.
Yeah, I got you. It was definitely a night for you guys. Came home second place. Pretty much was second for pretty much most of the entire race. You think there was anything you could do to get to Massey and try to go for that win?
I needed a longer run, like at least 10-15 laps, and I was probably gonna have to hit him. Just the way the track kind of developed there to one line.
Alrighty, yeah, I got you. It was definitely a track position type of night for everybody, not just you. But yeah, other than that, yeah, just tell us about your whole night. How did the car feel? Did you like how the car feel or anything like that?
Yeah, it started off kind of loose with the temperature, and kind of had to run the middle a little higher up, but as the track kind of cooled down, everyone seemed to start like running the apron real low on the flat stuff, and when that happened, the balance kind of felt better. It felt more neutral to tight, but when that happened, it kind of made it one line, and passing got really difficult, where, as I think earlier in the heat when it was a little hotter, you kind of run side by side and pass a little bit more, but yeah, it cooled off, definitely made it harder to pass. In that middle portion of the run, we were getting those long runs. I was kind of just trying to back off a Nick and save some tire, hopefully have something for him at the end, but we just had too many short runs there, and it took about 5 to 10 laps every time for me to try and get back to him after a start. So I'll take second though, especially after the Stanley thing. So yeah, we'll take it.
Carlos, you got anything for him?
Oh well, we got a week off before we go to the Charlotte Dirt Oval. Are you looking forward to that? What do you think your chances are for that race?
Well, I normally would say I am really looking forward to that. I love the dirt races, and that was honestly, both the dirt tracks were tracks that I figured I could go win at, but for some reason Chad wanted to schedule our off week as next week, and then have us race 4th of July week, and I'm going to be out of town 4th of July week. So yeah, I won't be making that, unfortunately. Maybe we can start a petition to get him have us run that next week so we can have 4th of July week off. But if not, we have a drop week. Just sucks to kind of take it at a track like that, which I was looking forward to, but no big deal if it doesn't end up changing. But the rest of the season looks good. There's another dirt race in there, so looking forward to that.
All right, before we let you go, anybody you want to give a shout out to? Any sponsors or just anybody in general?
Yeah, the Lake Norman guys there, Ethan Stanley and Ryan Gable, and also Tate stopped by, hung out with us, so that was cool. Yeah, Stanley and I were running good, and just some trouble late there for him, but shout out to those guys. Shout out to Jonathan Cutlip with JD Design for doing all my cars this year. Shout out to Seth Rawls for doing the paint schemes for this series. They came out really cool, so cool to kind of mimic the SRX stuff. And shout out to you guys here too for doing the broadcast.
All right, thank you so much for that. Good job tonight, Fody. Congratulations on your second place finish, and hopefully we'll see you again racing for wins in the future.
Yeah, appreciate it.
All right, that was your second place finish. Let me go ahead and bring in tonight's race winner, Nick Massey. Just give me 1 second. And here he is. Jess, take it away.
All righty, Nick Massey, this is Jess in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Awesome win tonight, man. Pretty much a dominant performance. Looked like you were pretty much untouchable by the right there. Tell us about your night there, good sir.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I didn't run last week, but figured I'd hop in and run this week. Just sitting on the sidelines last week. But yeah, I mean, pretty much was able to. I had a little struggle in heat race. I started in pole, and then I think I finished 5th, and then ended up starting 1st in the feature, which was turned out well. And then just kind of was. I was worried I was being a little too aggressive and going a little too hard at the start. I wasn't sure how that was going to turn out, but luckily it all worked out at the end. But yeah, just fun going back and forth up there with Fody and kind of playing the tire games a little bit with those guys. And yeah, overall, I mean, pretty solid night.
Yeah, we saw a lot of differing tire strategies. People trying to conserve, to anticipate those fun flags and anticipate, the ending of the race. And then we have you guys up there up at the front. Definitely very interesting tire strategies going on. What was your mindset with when everything was going on with those tire strategies?
Yeah, towards the end I was a little worried because I saw like the guys that were taking it easy, like Tate and Johnny and Gerald, kind of start to work their way up through the field, and then and then Ethan Stanley went full bulldozer mode there under yellow, kind of eliminated them. But yeah, my mindset was just kind of to kind of go as hard as I need to. I was trying to take care of it as much as I could. I know Fody and Stanley and those guys are good at saving tires too, so I was trying to just stay in front of them because I felt like if I gave up the lead, it'd be hard to get it back. So I was trying to just keep the gap and trying to just pace myself and go as hard as I needed to.
Alrighty, and as we look forward into the schedule for the ERX series, next race is going to be the Charlotte Dirt Track in 2 weeks' time. How do you feel about your chances of competing there?
I don't know. I haven't driven these cars on dirt yet, but I'm not that great at dirt to begin with. So I think there's probably a couple of ringers in here, so they'll probably all show up and do pretty well. But I don't know. I think to get a top 10. Maybe top 5. I'll definitely take a top 5, but top 10 would be, I think, pretty solid for me at the dirt track.
All right, Carlos, you got anything for him?
I mean, you kind of took the question that I had for him, but yeah. Well, no. I'd say just congratulations on the run. I for a while thought that the top 3 probably wasn't going to win the race because of how hard the other drivers were saying, but you did a phenomenal job to keep it up there and just lead wire to wire, and I just don't know how you started first. Like I'm confused by.
Yeah, I think the invert was like 10 out of the heat, so it was like the invert the 10th spot or something like that. So I guess I just finished there. I didn't even really kind of shoot for that, but it kind of worked out in my favor. But yeah, just kind of tried to be weight on the throttle and take care of the rear tires and much as I could, and yeah, it kind of all worked out in the end. But I was definitely worried. I saw Tate and those guys coming, like you said. They kind of just hung back and were playing the late game. But I think it would have been tough to hold them off for sure. I don't know how that would have worked out, but yeah, glad to come home with the dub.
All right, before we let you go, anybody you want to shout out there?
Yeah, shout out to you guys for being up here putting on the broadcast. Shout out to 3Y TV. Sponsor of the series, and Chad for putting it on. It was a lot of fun tonight. I was able to work kind of both lanes, and I thought it'd be kind of top dominant, but kind of able to make that bottom work a little bit, and it was a little easier to pass than I thought it was going to be. So it was a lot of fun.
All righty, congrats on the win tonight, Nick. Go celebrate.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
All right, and that's gonna kind of do it for us here tonight. As Jess, this is the first race covering here with the Elite Racing Experience. What was it for you?
It was definitely a quite a bit of a fun experience, also a little bit of a learning experience too. Seeing how everything is run from a different perspective, and I'll be honest, I enjoyed. I had a lot of fun, being able to help call this race with you, and also being able to see pretty much the best drivers in Elite Racing League compete in pretty much I would say Saturday night short track slam and bam, but it's Tuesday night. But yeah, it was definitely a lot of fun, and I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Well said. Well said. Well, thank you so much, guys. We're going to have a week off next week. We'll be back 2 weeks' time on July 2nd for the Charlotte Dirt Oval. Excuse me, I had to sneeze. I couldn't mute my mic there for a second one, but all right, well, we'll see you next time. Bye, guys.